I have been wearing the Oura Ring for 6 months now. I thought I'd just sit down and share kind of what it's actually been like without it being like a super techie review because I'm not a techie person. Just my honest experience, what I've used it for, what I've learned, and like if it's worth keeping, if you need it, kind of thing. I use my ring mostly for sleep tracking. So I do have an Apple Watch, but I use that at work. And so I just feel kind of icked out having that near my face, like while I'm sleeping, no matter how much I like keep it covered while I'm working with my gloves and my sleeve. It's just gross. So I don't like this big clunky thing. I also sleep on my hands. It would definitely kind of annoy me while I'm trying to sleep. Every morning I check my sleep score. So it's turned into a little ritual now. And it's taught me so much about sleep and has just really made me prioritize it. So like if I eat or drink late, it affects the way that I sleep, the quality of sleep that I get. If I drink caffeine too close or at a certain time, my sleep quality tanks, obviously. I'm sure everyone knows that caffeine affects their sleep, or for the most part they know. It's just when you have this ring and you're tracking consistently on like at what time you took it, you would think that maybe like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. you'd be fine kind of thing. No, for me, it's like anything after 12 p.m. it affects my sleep significantly. So I really have to limit my caffeine to the mornings. That is if I want to go to sleep on time. If I want to stay up later, then I'm all for drinking after 12 p.m. If you guys don't know, I have mentioned it a few times in my videos, but I am dealing with some health issues, as in feeling tired all the time. And I really like using this app to kind of help me gauge whether I need to rest more, which is always my thing. I always overwork myself. On the app, every morning they have this readiness score. So it will calculate based off of your sleep the night before and your activities from the day before. So if you worked out really hard, you hit your activity goal over a certain amount, it will tell you the next day that you need to rest. And it will also take into account like the week's worth. So if you haven't really been exercising all week, but the day before you did, it's not going to tell you to rest the next day, or it might, but it's more likely going to be like, okay, like let's lower your goal for today so that you don't exhaust yourself. It's kind of like the app's way of telling me if my body is good to like push harder or if I should chill out that day. I don't follow it religiously because I like waking up early every morning to work out. I will say it is definitely allowing my brain a peace of mind. Like when I want to rest, it calms me down, and I have rested more than ever before since I've gotten this ring. As for it tracking workouts, it does an okay job. I think every update they're kind of improving it, but I use my Apple Watch when I work out, so that information gets imported into the app. I just like the fact that it tracks my overall steps, so I don't have to wear this watch on my hand all day long to track my steps. It kind of uses both. So when I wear my watch, it tracks steps, and then when I don't, the ring picks up the rest of the steps, and then it combines it all together kind of at the end of the day to give me a total step count. So it's definitely left me not as like tethered to my watch as I used to be, because I really wanted to track my steps. What I have learned the most about myself using the Oura Ring is, so 6+ months in, I'd say the biggest thing I've learned about myself is how much my body thrives on routine. If I go to bed around the same time every night, I do wake up feeling much better, even though I try and fight it. I like going to bed late and I like waking up early. So that's not like a really good combination for myself, obviously. And my app is not afraid to tell me, or my ring is not afraid to tell me, that I am overworking myself. Another thing that it tracks is stress, so physiological stress. It's more like body temperature wise. And it will tell you if your body temperature is out of whack. So it has this like major, minor, symptom reader. So if something is out of whack, it can actually let you know that your body's being strained. It can't tell you like what, but it will indicate that you either need to rest or like you're about to get sick. So every time I have had that symptom reader show up or whatever, I usually get a headache or migraine the next day, or start feeling sick kind of thing. If you read stories, you can see that for some people it has let them know that they were having like a heart attack. Not specifically that they were having a heart attack, but they were having symptoms, and so it prompted them to go get it looked at. Like, not that they were unsure of what was like wrong with them, but it just really makes you kind of take an internal scan of your body. And if you're like, okay, I'm not feeling great, something's about to happen. Fortunately for me, it's never been that extreme. It's more so just letting me know that my period is coming or I'm about to get a migraine. And I can kind of tell based on the day of the month, I get that symptom warning. Get one a month, a week before my period. And if I get another one, I know it's a migraine. And there has been one time where it told me something was going on and I actually had laryngitis and I lost my voice, and that was fun. So it's pretty cool that way. I really find that interesting. And it also tracks my stress level. So like I said, it takes into account my body temperature throughout the day. It will let me know if my body's been in a high state of stress or it's been restored and calmed down. And it does that by measuring your heart rate as well, with your body temperature, movement, and honestly, I don't know what else, but I know there's more. So if the day before I was stressed out, which usually it is kind of when I'm working for the most part, it shows up in my readiness score for the next day. It hasn't like drastically changed my life, but it's definitely made me more mindful. Like, I'll think twice about scrolling on my phone before bed. I have been pretty good at going to bed a bit earlier nowadays because I know it's going to mess up my sleep score. So some of the pros of my ring, along with all that stuff that I listed, is that it is small, discreet, but there's a con to that too. I'll kind of talk about that in a second. I barely notice that I'm wearing it because it doesn't scream fitness tracker like a watch would, and it doesn't really like mess out my outfits if I cared that much, which I don't. But if that's something that bothers you, then a ring might be a better fit. The sleep tracking is really detailed. I use it to also track my blood oxygen levels because I've previously had sleep apnea. I think I still do, to be honest. The app gives me enough information to put my mind at ease, and like without it being overwhelming. It's really easy to understand and they explain everything. And they also have a little AI chat thingy that you can ask questions about something particular. It also does little reminders, kind of like your watch, where if you're not moving around enough, it will prompt you to move or take a break or whatever. On the flip side, the really annoying part is the subscription. It really does make me unnecessarily, or I don't know, it makes me really annoyed because this ring was so expensive, especially in Canada. I'm looking at around $700 for this gold ring, that has scratched up, and it's not even like a nice gold finish. Would I buy the gold again? Yes, because it matches with everything. But if something like little scratches and that kind of stuff bothers you, which it can for me sometimes, I work really hard to ignore it. You might want to go with a silver or like a different color. It doesn't feel luxurious, which is not great considering how much you pay for it. And there's a yearly, monthly subscription fee, which I think is insane. So some details of the ring that I'm currently wearing and that I have for the past 6 months. It's the Oura Ring Generation 4 in gold, and it's a size 6. And I paid $728.83 for the ring and $100.79 for the subscription, the yearly subscription. Also, I need to talk to them about my battery life. It started out working great. I only had to charge it maybe like once a week, twice a week. And now it's almost every night I have to charge it. I charge it before I go to sleep, put it on by the time I'm awake in the morning. It's like 40% down from 100. It's at 60%. I know with the Oura Ring Gen 4, there was some sort of battery issues. I've contacted them once before and they just told me to like reset, charge at 100%, reset it. Yeah. Obviously it didn't work and I've just been too lazy to contact them. I almost started contacting them, but then when I realized how long it would take, because they were like trying to connect me to an agent and I was like sitting on the couch about to fall asleep. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this another time, and I haven't. So that has been a goal of mine for the past couple of weeks, is to just like kind of get through that and get them to either send me a new one. So just be warned about that. If you go on the subreddit for the Oura Ring, you'll probably find a lot of people complaining about that. So that's, yeah. Another thing that I don't know why it really annoys me is such a small thing, but when you take naps, for me, it's been good at tracking my naps. Sometimes if I am watching TV or reading or just like not moving around, sitting on the couch, whatever, it will track that as a nap, but it's easy to like delete it. What I don't like is when I actually take a nap, but I've spent like 30 minutes laying on the couch on my phone beforehand before I actually took a nap. So it tracks me as having had a nap for an hour when I've only actually slept 30 minutes, but it won't let me edit the time of how long I was napping. You can do it for your sleep, like when you're in bed and on your phone scrolling. Sometimes it'll track that as your sleep time because your heart rate was lowered, but you can go and edit that. So I don't know why you can't edit naps. But anyway, when you take naps, it adds to your readiness score, which sometimes is really annoying because I'm like, yay, I hit my activity goal for the day. I take a nap and then it adds more points to my readiness score and it says, great, like you haven't hit your activity goal for today because you've added to your readiness score and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, but I already worked out today. Like I'm not moving around even more. Anyway, it's the little things. It's not gonna stop me from buying this in the future if I need to again. I just don't understand why you cannot edit your naps unless I'm doing something completely wrong. I don't know. I actually wear weightlifting gloves. I got them specifically so that my ring wouldn't scratch. It still scratches, obviously, but I think it would have been way worse had I not gotten these gloves because it just kind of covers up the ring a bit. But you can buy these like silicone bands if you want to cover them up to protect them as well. Get them off of Amazon or whatever. But I like the gold. Like if I could find something that was gold to cover it up, I would get it. But there hasn't been anything that I liked. Was it worth it for me? Yes, it has actually improved my life, even just a smidge. So I think it's worth it. I definitely get a lot more sleep than I did before. I think if you're curious about your sleep and your readiness score and trying to get yourself to take rest days, this would be beneficial for you. If you are someone that gets really anxious about details and life stuff, health anxiety, stay away from this. It gives you too much information. It's probably not a good idea for you. And if you just want like a step counter, not worth it. Your phone just in your pocket does a good enough job for that. I'd say I've gotten my money's worth if changing out the battery or whatever they do to fix it is not going to be a big hassle. So I'll let you guys know about that in the future. But I would buy it again, maybe another brand, but definitely some sort of wearable jewelry fitness tracker kind of thing. I know there's a lot of other brands out there. The user interface of the app is really, really good. So anyway, that is my kind of like 6-ish month update of my Oura Ring. I have to run and go to my appointment. I just realized the time. Nothing too crazy, nothing too techy, but I do think it is worth it for the most part if you're the person that needs it. If you've been thinking about getting one, I hope this helps you see what it's like kind of after the honeymoon phase, because you'll see a lot of like unboxings and type of videos and super techy ones. So it can do a lot of good things. It's just the everyday aspect sometimes is frustrating, like the battery. And the yearly subscription, or I pay yearly, but they have monthly subscription as well. Thanks for hanging out with me and doing my makeup with me. I'll see you guys in the next video.